What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, and my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I am a professional drum teacher and a gigging musician, and I have been those things for the last 20 plus years. Today's episode comes straight from the comments section. It is going to be a traditional react video because I've never really heard of him until the comments section, and I've never seen him play. We're going to be watching Alex Rudinger, or Alex Rudinger. I'm just going to call him Alex. A cursory search of Wikipedia let me know that he plays with Whitechapel and Intra some other band. I'm sorry if you're fans of those bands. I sometimes watch drummers I don't know anything about, and today is that. So there's nothing really more for me to say because I don't know anything about him. This will be the first time I get to watch him. I'm very excited. I haven't done a traditional react video in a little while. So before we get into it, if you think I have earned it, if you think I am entertaining and you dig what I'm doing, I really need your help. Please give me a like, comment, and share, only if you think I deserve it. And if you really think I deserve it, go check out my Patreon and go check out my merch page. So let's get into Alex Rudinger, or Rudinger. I'm just going to call him Alex. And he's going to be playing at the Meinl Drum Festival. Now, fans of his, I know you probably wanted me to do one of his play-alongs with one of his bands. But I need a song that won't get copyright striked. So this one won't. So bear with me. Let's go check it out. Okay. Whoo. I hear ya. Initial reactions. First of all, we're in 3/4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. A lot of times you think of 3/4, you kind of just think, waltzes, like old country songs. He's playing in a very interesting 3/4. Obviously a prog guy. I know, being in Whitechapel. He's a metal dude as well, but this is real indicative of that new style of metal drummer that has a lot of fusion, jazz fusion influence in their playing. You can hear a lot of linear style playing. If you don't know what linear is, it's the easiest way to describe that is you're just playing a line of notes and not a lot of stuff lining up. There's little flourishes of linear playing in there. Another interesting thing is he's playing ambidextrously. Is that a word? He's riding with his right hand and left hand equally well. I don't know if he's like naturally ambidextrous. You can, with a gigantic amount of practice, get to that level, but that's just a real advantageous way to play because you never have to do that crossover thing that traditional players play, like myself. And see, now he is. I say that, now he's got his hands crossed. There's that linear shit. That is a new thing that has happened over the last 20-25 years of metal playing. If you think of like classic, British, first wave of British heavy metal and thrash metal, playing, your Megadeths, your Iron Maidens, your Saxon, that kind of shit. There wasn't that jazz influence in there. And like Thomas Hoeke, or however you say it, from Meshuggah, I think was the big daddy, kind of the spiritual leader of these metal cats, these extreme type players. And he hasn't done any like blast beats or anything. If he's in Whitechapel, he does. he was the one that brought that, and this next generation of players just taking that to a completely different level. I mean, a lot of that linear stuff that he's doing, that's like classic David Garibaldi. He's kind of the grandfather of linear playing, him and Steve Gadd. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2. Playing a quarter note triplet over that 3/4. Ooh. There's a little bit of a metric modulation there. Well, give me a chance for a little education time there. When you're playing in odd times, I have a few students right now that I'm teaching in odd times, and you kind of have to start with the math of it. You have to start with the math of what time signature you're playing in. But then eventually you want to not have to have that grouping of notes going on. You don't want to have to go 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You have to get to the point where you can feel it. That first, if you're just first playing in an odd time, when you think of odd time, you think 3/4, 7/8, 9/8, 5/4. Those are kind of the most common ones you're going to see. I just found out the other day that Tool Numa song has a part that's in 33/16. You start out with the counting of it and knowing where the 1 is, and then you have to get to the point where you're just thinking in phrasing, and you have to think in phrases of that odd time. And unless you've done a lot of that, it can really feel foreign at first. Now, obviously, nothing feels foreign on the drum set for this cat. But that's something to think about. Like if you're playing in 7/8, you have to think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, and then get to the point where you're just thinking of the music in the 7/8 or 3/4 feels just as natural to you as if you're playing good old 4/4. This song is very indicative of something that you will see at these drummer festivals. If you ever get a chance to go, one day we'll get to do things again. I highly suggest you go. Drummers play along to these kind of tracks because it's stuff that they can get past copyright. Especially if it's going to be commercially released like this. Double strokes, man. Playing double stroke rolls. Marching band shit. Man, yeah, if you're familiar with like Vinnie Colaiuta playing and Steve Gadd playing and Dave Weckl playing, even Will Kennedy, that's what you're hearing here. You're hearing like a heavy-hitting, metal-infused version of that fusion style when you think of like late 70s, 80s fusion. Linear playing, kids, it's a really hard, deliberate way of playing. You have to go out of your way to learn how to play like that. Playing in 3, you can play around with the feel. Because through here, we've heard him play a backbeat on the 2 and the E of 3. We've seen him use kind of like a backbeat where it almost felt like he was going like 1 and E, 1 and E, which kind of gives it like a triplet-y feel. 3/4 is a really fun groove or time signature to play in. The sound of these drums is a excellent Tama Star Classic advertisement. These drums sound great. Right there, good old-fashioned 6-stroke roll. You know what he's doing right there? He's going right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Right? That's just rudiment marching band stuff. I preach this on this channel all the time. Your rudiments, you can be so creative. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit so we can watch a little bit of that 6-stroke. Listen for that lick, that Man, you could do so much with that stuff in all styles. Accent taps. There it is. Part of the song sounds like I'm at a rave. Doing it again. There's that. There's those 6 strokes again. Even what you're hearing right here is very fusiony. You have an ostinato pattern going from the band. Ostinato means just a thing that happens over and over and over. And then that allows you to solo over top of it. So the band is acting as the drummer here, and he's acting as the soloist over top of it. And you can create very interesting tension and releases because he knows what's going on underneath him and able to what we call, soloing and playing drum fills over the bar line. Good metal shit right there for double bass. Figure out what time he was in there, but it almost sounded like he was back into, almost like he was trying to make it feel like 4/4. 1, 2, 3 E. 2, 3 E. Man, this guy's had to. He's a trained drummer. He's doing just far too much shit mathematically and rhythmic tricks and modulations that you kind of have to know what it is that you're doing. The one is a rumor. Yeah. Man, these young kids out here trying to take all of our old men's stuff. They deserve it. That is great examples of, even if you are a metal drummer or if you are a fusion drummer, don't be so single-minded. Learn all the styles, man. You heard marching band stuff today. You heard just good old-fashioned David Garibaldi Tower of Power shit. And if you don't know who that is, man, go listen to that right now. This is that, I call these drummers the singularity drummers. This is where all the information of drumming has been thrown out into the world through YouTube, and these kids have all of the information, and they're assimilating all styles, and they become like almost like a Bruce Lee version of drummers, where your style is to not have any style, know all the styles. So then you can use what's necessary for what it is that you're playing. I love watching drummers like this new, and I know he's probably, I know I'm saying kid, but I'm definitely older than him and new to me, but this new style, he's a representation of that new style of heavy drummer that is taking all the elements and infusing them. And I have to think that that's where Meshuggah, and I've done 2 Meshuggah videos, please go check those out. But I think that's a great, where that influence kind of came from, because we know that Meshuggah listened to Chick Corea and the Electric Band, and that fusion style of drumming. Yeah, man, thanks to the comment section for giving me the heads up on Alex Rudinger or Alex Rudinger. Now, if you want to be able to play like that, you have to assimilate all styles like the Borg and keep practicing until it's easy.